This video is about the Franco-Spanish War, which started in 1635 and ended in 1659. Apart from Spain and France, the Italian territories controlled by Spain were involved. Furthermore, at a later stage, the Commonwealth of England, Scotland and Ireland joined the war. To the historical context, both countries, Spain and France, wanted to be the most dominant power in Europe. Furthermore, France felt threatened by the Habsburg encirclement. The Spanish Habsburgs were not only in Spain, they also were in the Spanish Netherlands and in Burgundy. And don't forget, there was the other Habsburg line, east of France, the emperors of the Holy Roman Empire. So a main objective of French policies was to weaken the Habsburgs. You have to understand the Franco-Spanish War in the context of other conflicts. There was the 80 Years' War, the United Netherlands fought for their independence, and of course the 30 Years' War. Spanish troops supported the emperor. On the other side, there were the Swedes. But Swedish and Protestant forces lost the Battle of Nördling, and it seems very likely that there will be a peace. That was not in the interest of France, because France wanted to weaken the Habsburgs. So France actively joined Sweden and declared war on Spain. The war started quite well for the French, a strong victory in the Battle of Les Avens, but then the Spaniards could strike back. They had lightning attacks into northern France. They even threatened Paris, but had to abandon this approach because of financial strains. France could then push the Spaniards back to her northern border. Furthermore, over the entirety of the war, France tried to occupy Milan, which was controlled by the Spaniards, but was not successful. Now, very important is the War of Restoration. Portugal was for a long time in personal union with Spain and now fought for independence. And in fact, Spain lost control over Portugal by 1640. The same thought had the people of Catalonia. They launched a revolt, allied with the French, and then French forces entered into Catalonia. The French could win a battle in the north and supported a revolt against the Spanish in Naples, which was in personal union with Spain. There was another French victory, and Spain was very much under pressure. However, then there was a peace of Westphalia, and Spanish forces could be freed. But there was no peace between Spain and France, because France wanted to gain Catalonia. Now the French thought, now we'll really push on and win the war against Spain. But, if you will, they did not clear their own backyard. There was a civil war between the centralist monarchy and the decentralized nobility. This was an opportunity for Spain, and the Spaniards concentrated their efforts to recapture Catalonia. They were successful, and by October 1652, Spain regained control over Catalonia. The following years, the Pyrenees were the front line, but not much was happening there. Also, on the other front lines, not much was happening, simply because both sides were exhausted. But the dynamic should change when the Commonwealth of England entered the war because of economic reasons. They were looking for Spanish colonies in America. An Anglo-French force could defeat the Spanish forces in the Battle of the Dunes, and the English occupied Dunkirk. But as mentioned earlier, both sides were exhausted, so there was the Treaty of the Pyrenees, and that ended the Franco-Spanish War. That was actually favorable for France, because France could win territory north of the Pyrenees and south at her border to the Spanish Netherlands. In return, France had to stop her support for Portugal during the War of Restoration. That meant that France now replaced Spain as the hegemonial power on the European continent. But Spain was weakened, so England could relatively easily prevail in the Anglo-Spanish War, gain Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and Dunkirk. Also, Portugal could win the War of Restoration and gain her independence from Spain again. That was the Franco-Spanish War in 5.